We are getting live after a break, and I think this is good to get back to PMP exam prep power hour. It's our episode number 41. I have planned some ideas around quality management. Let's see, I'm open for any question, any queries which are related to project management, PMP certification, or program management as well. We can extend our conversation beyond project management now. We can definitely include. So I will talk about quality after some time, but if you have any query, anything which you want to discuss before we get started with our defined agenda, that's a good thing to do. So just drop a message. If you are watching us on LinkedIn, you can just comment in the feed. And if you are watching us on YouTube, then you also have a chat feed running along with where you see me, and you can put your message there as well. So I'm your facilitator. I'm Saket Bansal. I'm into project management. I also teach scaled agile, Kanban, agile coaching. These are some of the program I take frequently. And so here our agenda is basically focusing on PMP exam preparation, and we focus on helping our participant to clarify some of their queries related to PMP exam, PMP exam topic, or directly a PMP exam. That's what we are focusing here in this particular session. So let me know if you have any query. I do want to talk about quality management. I have some pointers made. So let me start with my quality management topic. In the meantime, you can bring up your queries and ideas as well, and we take it one by one. Yeah. So let's start with quality. So I got this comment in our previous open hours that someone wanted to discuss about quality. I think I have discussed so many PMP topics now, so hardly anything left for the whole PMP exam prep power hour. I feel so, but maybe there are things which we keep discovering. So when we talk about quality, we need to start talking about what is quality and how it is different from grade, especially from a PMP exam perspective. And even as a practicing project manager, I need to be very clear between the difference between quality and grade. So quality from a PMP exam perspective, we define it how well we are meeting our stakeholder expectation, how fit our product is as per expected quality or as per expected requirement from our stakeholders. If I'm meeting my stakeholder expectation in a consistent manner, I'm a quality product. If I'm not meeting my stakeholder expectation, then I'm not a quality product. Now, the grading should not be confused with the quality. Grading is something which is associated with that there are two products who are serving a similar purpose, but they are giving different promise and they are serving different customer segment. So for example, you may have a car which is of a low price and there is an expensive car. So say there is a $5,000 car and there is a $50,000 car. Both cars are helping people to move mobility. That's the purpose they are serving. But both are at a different grade. Now, if a 5,000 car is meeting its promise to its stakeholder and customer, meeting customer expectation, it's a quality product. A $50,000 car, if meeting the customer expectation at that level, then also it's a quality product. But we should not be comparing the $50,000 car with the $5,000 car and saying this 50,000 is better quality and 5,000 is not a better quality. So they are different grade. And we should be not comparing two grades. We need to compare how well these two products are able to take care of our customer expectation. So that's how we should differentiate between quality and grade. Yeah? So that's one of the reminder for our PMP exam. So starting with that, we can say, yeah, this is how we can say. Somebody will say how it is important for a project manager to understand the difference between quality and grade. So one of the important thing is many a time our stakeholder may start giving various advices to us. And these advices looks great, but they are not for the grade which we are serving. So say if I'm making a $5,000 car in my project and someone gives a recommendation which is a great feature for a $50,000 car, I need to remind my stakeholder, it's a great idea, but not for the target segment which we are targeting. It is not for appropriate grade. So that way, it's not just about the PMP exam. I need to manage my stakeholder expectation also to remind about what kind of customer segment, what kind of target we are making for our product. Yeah, so that's one of the things I keep reminding to my PMP participants. Now, once we are clear, and this is something which comes as a part of a project charter, as a part of your project vision, as a part of your contract, as a part of your business case, you understand what kind of customer segment you are handling. Now, the second thing which I wanted to bring out related to quality management is quality management plan. So you probably understand in the PMP, everything has a subsidiary plan. So if I want to do a requirement, I need to have a requirement management plan. If I want to do a scope, I want to have a scope management plan. Now, similarly, if I want to do anything about quality, the project management literature will say, you may want to plan about quality before you do anything. So that thing is quality management plan. Now, somebody will say, I don't want to create such kind of documents. Perfectly okay. From a PMP exam perspective, as well as working as a project manager, both perspectives, it's perfectly okay. There has to be an agreement on our quality approach, not necessary to be very documented in a big document. It could be a verbal agreement also, but that is your quality management plan. So quality management plan for a PMP exam perspective helps me in managing quality in my project. It helps me in understanding quality policy, quality expectation, quality processes, quality compliances, process of auditing, process of controlling, what kind of tools and technique we use, what kind of flow, what kind of matrices we capture, quality matrices we capture, all comes under quality management plan. Now, as a project manager, I need to be also very importantly considering quality aspect. Many a time, quality management planning has a lot of governance interference, the stakeholder interference, the PMO interference. Because, see, project is a temporary endeavor. You will do your work and then you will disappear. Your project team will disappear. And organization may be suspicious about that you may just take shortcut and finish the work. And later on, once you guys are done, then the deliverable which you have produced might be creating a lot of defects. Many a time I have seen this happening. We had a great project, we finished everything on time, and then we realized that the product we produced was creating a lot of problem in the production space. So we want to make sure that this should not happen. That way, organization will be insisting many of the quality measurement to ensure that we are delivering the deliverable by adhering to the quality guidelines. So this all will be coming in a quality management planning. Usually in a complex project, my stakeholders are very well engaged in a quality management planning, and I will have a lot of limitations which I must adhere to. Some constraints are given which need to be adhered in the project because that is something expected from the organization as a part of quality standards. They may propose a particular standard, they may propose a particular way of collecting data, that all has to be followed. So I need to follow and manage the quality management plan. Now, we spoke about quality and grade and quality management plan. In case someone has a query, please feel free to put the comment. I will probably in between also take it. I have a few more points to talk, and then we are open for questions. If there are any else, we are done with this particular session. So after moving from 2 points, then the usual confusion nowadays. What is the difference between predictive and adaptive projects or hybrid projects when we are talking about quality? So I would say the core essence of quality is everywhere relevant. So what is the core essence of quality? We want to meet our stakeholder expectation. We want to reduce rework. We want to find our problems early. We want to be more focused on delivering our stakeholder goals. So there's a core essence of quality that remains as it is. Now, the only difference is in case of adaptive life cycle, the quality related things will be done in a frequency. You want to do things more frequent validation and checking rather than in the predictive way of working. We may have a big batch size. So we may work on a lot of ideas and then we go for quality related control and quality related validation activities. So this is something we can say that this has to be seen in the context, and there is a possibility of using the practices in the predictive and adaptive in the both direction. But yes, the practices which are more aligned to our frequent verification, frequent delivery will be followed in the format of adaptive lifecycle. One of the important element of adaptive lifecycle quality is build quality in, which we want to focus on bringing testing as early as possible. And usually the tool like definition of done plays a critical role when we are working with the quality. So we need to work and define the DOD in an appropriate manner. Yeah. So that's the another idea related to quality of adaptive and predictive lifecycle. Yeah. Then we focus on element related to quality assurance and quality control. That's the another confusion sometimes I see in the participants. So we can say assurance is something when you are doing your deliverable preparation, when you are creating the deliverable, you want to make sure that deliverable is produced as per the desired expectation. So the activities and things you do to ensure the deliverable is meeting the desired quality expectation, the customer requirement, while you are working on the delivery is quality assurance activity. You want to make sure that first time you produce the right deliverable. Whereas the idea which are associated with later on, which means that you are focusing on later where you have a deliverable done, yeah, and you want to focus on the understanding of how this deliverable is meeting the desired quality specification, desired scope specification. That is our quality control activity. So when you do testing, it's a quality control activity. When you do maybe follow a good training to your engineers so that they produce right deliverable in the first step, that's an assurance activity. When you prepare guidelines, so how to do various development work, that's an assurance activity, because you are assuring the quality should be done in a proper manner when you are producing the deliverable. In the assurance space, you don't have a deliverable in a hand. You are working on the deliverable, but you want to work in the format. You want to work with using appropriate tool. So you produce appropriate deliverable. So that's the quality assurance, and quality control is your usual testing and control related activities. Yeah, both are needed. We want to do more and more assurance because it is cheaper. It's cheaper means that the cost of rework will be less because we can find the issues early. And that's the whole idea of quality management, that we should design for quality, we should plan for quality, we should not be waiting for later stage to do a quality check. That's the important reminder as a project manager professional, as well as in the exam. I need to keep in mind, the sooner I can validate my assumption, sooner I can go for controlling related activities, the more and more early feedback I can get. That's the best idea. Irrespective of adaptive predictive, whenever I see an opportunity of early feedback, I go for that. That's something I keep in mind. So these are the few of the things I was thinking of talking related to quality topics. So if someone has a query, we can discuss. And the final thing I want to talk about, corrective and preventive action. So usually the things which goes wrong, you identify some defect, you identify some problems which are not as per the desired expectation. You want to do some correction around it. So corrective action is associated with you are fixing the problem so that product can get usable. Whereas a preventive action is a word which is associated with you want to make sure that you do something so that you don't repeat this problem later on. You want to prevent the reoccurrence of this particular problem. Whenever you are dealing with the PMP exam question, always target to do a corrective action first when you have a problem at hand, and then focus on preventive, because it is always good to take care of current problem before we talk about how do we need to do it better next time onwards. So that's the whole high level idea, and I wait for your queries if you have any, in case you want to focus on some of the topics related to quality management. So I can see we are live on YouTube, LinkedIn. Yeah, both way I think it's working, and I can see. So I can meantime talk about some of the quality tools also. Let's see if you are not getting any query in the meantime. I can focus on some of the popular quality tools. 3 of them I picked up here. So let's see. So one of the quality tools for doing analysis of various things which you have, and especially you use it as a preventive action tool, that you have a lot of defects coming in, so you may do analysis of those things with the help of cause and effect diagram. And in the PMP exam you may get a question which talks about that you want to do a particular thing, which tool is good for you. So cause and effect diagram, fishbone diagram, Ishikawa diagram, root cause analysis, they many a time use interchangeably. These words and these diagrams use interchangeably. So it usually focuses on we have an effect and we want to find out what is the causes of this effect. So you can make it a fishbone kind of a format where you put a head, which is an effect, and try to find out various possible paths, which might be creating this effect. And you may get into the details of those paths which might be resulting into that effect by way of asking multiple time why question, that why we have this particular problem. So say you have an effect that you have usual delay is in your commitment, and you want to find out why these delays are happening. So there could be a delay because of a tool problem, productivity problem, communication, rework. So you can say these are the possible paths. And then I try to analyze each path. And if there is a path which is showing that, yes, we do have a problem related to productivity, then I try to find out why we have a problem related to productivity. And if I go 5 times why, that's the usual belief, then I may find out the root cause related to that productivity problem. And that can help me in solving that particular problem. Yeah, so that's something we can see. Yeah, so we can focus on that. So that's a root cause analysis or a cause and effect diagram, which is a useful diagram for you. You need to keep in mind when you are dealing with your PMP exam. Now we have a question. I think I take it first that, so when we need to start quality management, so it is something you can start from the beginning only. It is not like when you have a requirement only, then you will do it. So say things like quality, things like risk management planning, things like communication management planning, they don't have a much dependency on scope or other things. You can do it any point in time. So that's the important reminder. Now, how do I do it if I don't even know the scope, even if I don't have an expectation clarity? So you have a project initiating documents, maybe a project charter, you may have a contract, maybe you have a business case, you have organization policies. So as soon as on the day one, when you start your project, you know these are the quality recommendation I need to work on. So I will initiate, I will start compiling that information and start putting into a quality management plan. And in a project kickoff meeting, which I will do in the first week, I will talk about these are the quality guidance and quality constraint which has been recommended to us, and we are going to follow it. So you may initiate there, and as you move forward, you will refine that quality management plan as a part of preparing the complete project management plan. Yeah, so it's an iterative activity, but you don't have to wait for a particular input. The day your project starts, you can initiate the quality planning, because it's an important aspect of your project. Okay, so we know that the things are working, and we got one question. Thank you. So I spoke about quality tool, which is cause and effect diagram. Yeah. Now we can talk about another tool called Pareto Analysis. Sometimes you see it in your questions and the exam. So the whole idea of Pareto analysis, sometimes also known as a 80-20 analysis, sometimes also known as a prioritization activity to identify what is going to create maximum impact. So say you have various reasons for the delay. You did a root cause analysis of the delay, and you have a reasons associated to productivity, you have a reasons associated with process, you have a reasons associated with the misunderstandings, rework. There are various reasons, and then you are trying to find out these reasons are producing delay. Let me count out which reason is producing how many delays. So you probably make a list of all the delays, small activities which has happened, and you put a reasons around it, and you try to say that there are 100 activities which got delayed. Let me find out of 100 which were because of productivity, which were because of misunderstanding, which were because of tool problems, and etc. You might have a list of 10 types of problems which are creating delays. So you have a 10 causes which are creating delays. Yeah, so you have 100 type of activities which are delayed, and you try to distribute them into 10 of these causes, and then you create a chart, or you create a bar chart out of it, and you try to see and then you order the bar chart by way of bringing those causes which are creating more frequency, and you analyze what are the causes which are creating the maximum amount of delays. So you may discover out of 10, maybe 3 or 4 causes are producing the maximum amount of delay, and maybe there is a one cause which might be creating 50 to 60% of the delay of all those activities. So by doing this analysis, I figure out those key impactful reasons, and then I probably if I have a limited energy, I will focus on fixing those reasons, and by fixing those reasons, I will fix a lot of delay in which are happening in my project. So that way, this is an example. I use a Pareto analysis, which is a segmenting the data based on the causes and frequency, so that I can identify what kind of problems or which are the causes are creating the maximum problems, so that I can fix them and have a better customer satisfaction. So that's the Pareto analysis. So if anyone has a query, please put it in the chat, in the comment of your LinkedIn or your YouTube. Yeah, that's the place. Now, another chart which we can talk about is a control chart. So you may keep hearing this word also very frequently in your PMP exam, in your practice tests and all. So control chart is a tool you use as a project manager to see, do we have a process in control or out of control? You want to see process should be inside our control limits. So what is the meaning of inside control limit or outside control limit? So say things cannot happen exactly the same way. There is a variance. And I should know what is a acceptable variance, what is a general variance. And I don't have to worry about till the time the variance is under that range. But whenever the variance is going beyond that general variance, I want to get a trigger and I want to do something about it. And that purpose you can serve with the help of control chart. So I can identify lower control limit, upper control limit. I have a things which are, I am observing the data in between, and then I can identify if something is going out of that limit, I will be get activated and I try to do an analysis of it. So for example, you realize that in your project, there could be minimum 5 defects in a week and maximum 15 defects in a week. And on average, you should get 10 defects in a week. So you can say, okay, for my defects, weekly defects monitoring, my control limit is 5 to 15. And if things are coming under 5 to 15, I am not worried about our defect process. I think our testing process is under control. We are producing as an acceptable range of defects. But if in a given week I get less than 5 defects, I want to analyze what happened. Now, why we had less than 5 defects. Like, are we really doing testing well? Maybe because I'm expecting 5 to 15 is the range. So that's a lower control limit got breached. Similarly, if in a one particular case, in a 1 week, I observed there were more than 15 defects, then also I want to analyze what happened, what was special in this particular week, why we got more than 15 defects here. Yeah. Now, how I figure it out 5 to 15? By observing historical data. I have been seeing that on average, this is what we are getting. And whenever we are breaching this control limit, I want to do some intervention. That's the control chart. So you see those kind of information given in the question, and you follow control chart as a tool for that particular suggestion. Because the question will be, which tool can help you in identifying processes under control, out of control, you go for control chart. Or the question could be that, which tool can help you in identifying the underlying causes of the problem, you go for root cause tool. The question could be that which tool can help you in prioritizing where to invest more time and energy, you go for Pareto chart. So that's the kind of question you will see in the exam, where you may, or 1 or 2 questions will come in your PMP exam, where you need to pick up the choice out of various available tools. So these 3 tools are more frequently used. There are others as well, yeah, but these are the 3 which are used in a frequent manner. Yeah. So that's the idea, and let's see if we have some queries, conversation before we move forward. So it's the festive season in India, so many distractions and so many things happening. So let's see what is, I was expecting that it may have an impact on our participation as well, so which is probably the case, but yes, yeah. Anyway, we see. If we have any question, anyway, I am here to clarify. If not, we are done. Yeah. So you can we discuss the difference between histogram and Pareto chart. So you can say the ordered histogram, which helps you in identifying the so general histogram is general histogram. The ordered histogram, where you put the ideas which are producing more results, more frequency, is a Pareto chart. So Pareto chart is a type of histogram. That's the thing which is ordered from in the order of a frequency. So that much is good enough for your PMP exam. You don't have to go beyond that. So in a simplest manner, what it is, yeah, that's the most important thing we need to keep in mind. So you have a simple cause and frequency, you prepare a bar chart out of it. Then you realize that some of the causes is a high number. You organize those high number as the initial columns. You can say cause 1, cause 2, cause 3. Rather than just putting a ordered cause, you can say the cause which has a more number I will be putting early, and I order that bar chart, that histogram, and convert that into a Pareto chart. That's it. Now, in some quality standards, you may have little different things, but for PMP exam, this much is great. Okay, so these are the 2 questions we got on the YouTube. I think LinkedIn is also working. I just check if there is a direct question on the LinkedIn rather than reaching till here. Sometimes it happens, there is a delay in LinkedIn. So I'm just visiting there. No, I think, yeah. Okay, so it looks like things settle down. We can talk other than quality topics as well, not necessary to stick to only quality. Yeah, anything which is related to your project management, PMP certification, or project management learning could be our discussion point. Okay, so I give another 60 seconds, and if no question, then we close the session for today. So is the PMP certification from Google one is good one? No idea. So I have not done myself. So it is difficult for me to comment about Google project management certification. The only thing which I see is PMP is definitely popular, but I am not clear about the Google one. That's an interesting question, and I believe it is difficult to explain me explain directly here, but we can say, yeah. Okay, we can say, how do I explain? So say, first thing is, it is not coming in the PMP exam. Yeah. So you don't have to calculate critical path in PMP exam. And nowadays, tools like MS Project, Primavera can help you in doing it. So most likely in your day-to-day project management also, you need to use tool for doing it. Yeah, that's a simple thing. Now, how do we do that? So in order to calculate critical path, we need to calculate early start, early end, and late start and late end time or a date for each and every activity of our project schedule. So this requires forward pass and backward pass. So forward pass help us in identifying early start, early finish, early start, early finish. We move forward. Yeah. So I start with the first activity. I see after this activity is getting over, which all is getting started. So based on the relationship, I keep calculating if this is starting on this date, if this is the duration, then what is the early finish? Then I calculate early start again, early finish again, and I calculate that. Yeah. So I find out early start and early finish dates. Yeah. Now, once it is done, then I reach the end, and at the end I got early start and early finish. then I copy the end activity, early start and early finish, into a late start and late finish, because I want to find out the late start and late finish without impacting project duration. That's the thing. So I copy that and I then do a backward pass. So by reverse calculation, I try to find out what is the late start and late finish without impacting the project end date. So I calculate that. Now, somebody will say it should be same. Early start, early finish, late start, late finish will be same. That's the catch. It will be same if you don't have a flexibility in that particular task, which you call it slack. But it will not be the same if you have a slack there. So slack or a flexibility, if available, will be visible when we differentiate between early start and late start. That will be a slack. And if I calculate everything, I find out there is a path which has no slack. Sometimes there could be a possibility even critical path can have some places slack, but I identify most of the path which is showing no slack, and that's the longest path which will help us in achieving the project duration. That becomes my critical path. Yeah. So it's a forward pass, it's a backward pass, but it's a little calculated stuff and complex stuff as well. But good news is not needed for PMP exam, and even for your day-to-day project management, now you have a lot of tools which can help you in doing it. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully you get some idea about your critical path. Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Yes. Yeah. Let's see if we get some other query. Okay, so looks like things are settling down. I know it takes little few seconds before the query reaches to me. That's another challenge, but I think today it's a little slow day. Okay, so looks like we are settled down now. No more questions. So I think I close. Thank you for joining the session. And if you have any follow-up query, please post in a comment. We'll look into it, and probably we will organize subsequent session based on those points as well. So feel free to share your ideas on our channels, YouTube or LinkedIn, and we will take care of them as we get it. Yeah. Thank you. I understand it's a festive weekend, especially in India. So thank you for participating. It was nice talking. Bye, everyone.